Welcome everyone to the first edition of our new podcast, Rapid Fire Insights. I'm your host, Dave McCall, and this is my co-host, Chris Hanna, the all-in solopreneur. Our guest today is Frank Abbruzzese, co-owner of AlphaKor IT and security. Basically, our rapid fire is just that. We want to bring you great information. We want to bring it to you quickly. We want to make things, kind of give you lots of information with velocity and fun. So we're going to start off today with Frank. Really happy to have you here as our first guest, Frank.
Pleasure to be here, guys.
Appreciate it. And Chris, did you want to say a few words?
Yeah, so Frank, excited to talk with you today to learn more about yourself and your journey. I think that's a great way to kind of start just to understand a little bit more. Can you take us through a bit of your background and this entrepreneurial journey that you've really been on throughout your career?
Sure, absolutely. It started just over 35 years ago in terms of the IT sector. But I'll start with AlphaKor. When I became a partner, probably about 8 months into my career with AlphaKor, I became a partner of the firm, and we incorporated. And what we did is we were just knocking on doors and getting the name out of the company. We didn't really have the internet, and email was kind of, so-so at the time. So again, we've done it on the hard school of knocks. Had a lot of people in this community and beyond support us in the early days. And it was an exciting time to be in technology and see the rapid changes that I've always joked in my entire career. It's pretty well changed hourly, and I think it's a little quicker than that today.
Oh, there's so much changing so often, so fast. Especially in your sector. With the security, with the IT, with all the AI and everything else, it's got to be phenomenal.
Well, for those who maybe don't know AlphaKor, can you talk a little bit about that, like in what it kind of specializes in?
Sure, absolutely. So today, AlphaKor is 28 plus years old. We service the community beyond and pretty well globally. We have clients located all over the world today. We're very excited about that growth path we've had over the years. AlphaKor provides managed services where we're your IT department. We complement your IT department, all things IT, all things technology. We do website design, digital marketing, social media channels, AdWords, all the search engine optimization when you think about the whole web and digital world. We've written some really cool tools, some software applications, Mobi apps. So got a team of over 50 people, and we're excited at helping businesses grow and run their business by investing in the right technology.
Now, with a team of over 50 people, is it most of them in this Windsor area as well, or you got people remote working for you too?
Well, we've had both. During COVID, we had some more that were remote. Some had moved away. Some we hired abroad. Today, the majority is all here locally in Windsor, Essex. So we're very happy about that. 80% are back in the office, and I'd be very accommodating, and we're on a hiring spree again. And we've just added a couple people this month, and we're adding some more bodies as we speak.
Very nice.
And one of the great things, Chris, is AlphaKor is very much into the community. They get involved with a lot of different community programs, community projects. So they're not just a business for business; they're a business for people. That's what I love about Frank and the company.
Well, I think it's that ability to give back that can set a lot of companies apart. And I know, Frank, you also do a lot in the networking space as well. I wonder if you could talk a little bit about that too.
Sure. So if we talk about networking, the business side of it, not the computer networking side.
Yes.
I've been very, very fortunate to be able to build a couple different business networking groups. We ran one for about a dozen years, and then COVID hit. In January of 2021, it really hit me that a lot of my associates had nowhere to go, nowhere to network. So I actually started a virtual networking group called Wednesday Wisdom. And we met every single Wednesday, 11 to noon, and had an audience of about 45 people. Fast forward, we now have moved that instead of weekly, we're meeting monthly in person, getting anywhere from 50 to 75 people coming out to network events. The whole goal is to connect people. There's no cost, no roll call, no name tag. I know David does a lot of great networking events. This one's very different and unique that it's just basically a group of associates meeting on a monthly basis, and the audience keeps growing. my specific email address that I send reminders to. You know me, I love to follow up. That's one of the things that I've talked about for a very long time in my weekly blogs that I used to run. And make sure that you follow up so everyone on my email list is aware of the next event and they get reminders every 2 weeks.
And Chris, I've been to a bunch of Frank's events, and he puts on some fantastic events. Great cross section of business owners. Really, it's one of those groups that's very friendly. You know, sometimes you walk into an event and it's, you got this group here and this group here, and it's hard to break in. But the ones that Frank put on and the people that come there, it's extremely open, extremely, just it has that really nice vibe to it.
Well, I think the welcoming, atmosphere is important for people, especially if you're new to kind of getting into business. So a lot of people might be like fearful to kind of step in to maybe go and network because maybe they go in like, I don't know anybody. And you walk in and everyone's kind of meeting one another. Any advice that you would give for somebody who's maybe like newer to the game of networking and trying to like put their best foot forward?
Absolutely. I've had this conversation with, not just young, new professionals, but also current university and college students and recent graduates. So my first recommendation is to go alone. Because if you go with a friend or an associate, you're going to stick with that person. So that's number one. Number two, it's okay to stand aside when people are having a conversation. So I walk into a room, David and Chris, I don't know you at all. You two are having a nice conversation. I stand politely. David, who knows me, would probably stop the conversation and make an introduction. And sometimes what happens there, it's called a triad relationship. It's amazing how it happens. So David introduces me to you, Chris, and then David walks away, and all of a sudden you and I have connected. So that's one thing, is go alone. Don't be afraid to introduce yourself. Tell your story, right? I've been in the IT sector 35 years. This is what I do. This is what I enjoy doing. Chris, what do you do? So I'd ask your story. Exchange business cards, or, we've got our bamboo tap cards, however you want to do with your electronic devices. But the point is, make sure you do connect. I strive to follow up with every person that I meet, to connect on LinkedIn and to send a message within 24 hours. Just basically, Chris, pleasure meeting you last night at David's event. It intrigued me that you're doing a podcast. I'd love to hear more about it. You want to come on into AlphaKor and have a coffee chat, learn more about what we do. And very simple, or the amount of relationships that we have built just by that basic business 101 is very amazing. We've got great technology, great tools out there to complement what we do. But when it comes to networking in person, it's actually a lot easier than you think. You have to get out of your comfort zone. So
right.
Most of the audience are not going to believe this, but I am by nature, I was an extremely quiet, shy person my entire life pre-professional career. So I had to learn real quickly in a showroom environment how to deal with individuals looking to buy, their first home computers way back when. So again, we have to get out of our comfort zone and, just be open, honest, polite. I like that David used friendly. So, there's a lot of friendly people there. Windsor, what I find in the county is we really care about each other. We really want to help each other. Wednesday Wisdom is all about us helping other people. That's really what the whole organization's about. And
see, that's what I like about what Frank does, because with AlphaKor, AlphaKor is based on basically helping their clients, making them secure, bringing them the best technology, helping them with their problems and making sure that they're comfortable with their business, how their business runs, and everything's running smoothly. And then on the opposite side, they're connecting people on a personal basis, meeting new people, introducing people. Some of the people obviously have things connected to AlphaKor. Some of them have nothing to do with AlphaKor directly. It's just a matter of making those connections and being out there and trying to help people build their businesses and make them better entrepreneurs.
Well, and I think, Frank, you also said something that's very important that a lot of people need to remember. I think not just from a networking perspective, but business in general, is the follow-up, right? Oh, yeah. Sales is one in the follow-up, referrals, leads, just the connections that you make. If you follow up with people, that simple, even like I have a hiring business. People who follow up just to thank me for interviewing them. They kind of get that moment where then they're kind of, hey, they're maybe to the top of the pile. The follow-up is so important.
Absolutely. I'll go back to the blogs. I had Building Circles as my blog for about 14 years. And I would say at least 10 times I talked about 3 of the keys to success, and 1, 2, and 3 were follow up. And, a lot of people that ran into me said, why do you keep repeating that? And I personally will let you know. To me, it's a 90-10. 90% of the people say we follow up, 10% actually do follow up. And personally, with my experience, that has made a huge difference. Now, when I'm on the other side and I'm looking to buy something, I'm looking for services, I'm looking for someone to do work at AlphaKor, work at home, work for a friend, etc. It's true. If I reach out to 5 different businesses, maybe 1 will get back to me, sometimes 2. And, you have to keep chasing them. So don't be that person that, you have to chase. Follow up.
Well, you know what it is, Frank, and I know you do this all the time. You put a lot of time into working with clients or at networking events, putting people together. It takes time and effort for you. It takes time and effort for them. So if people are going to put in that time and effort, why waste it? Why meet somebody and say, "Hey, this is a great meeting, and I really like, nice to meet you," and then not reach out again? It's just, you put the time in, you've showed up, you've talked to these people. It's as simple as you said, as sending an email saying, "Hey, it was a great conversation with you last night. I really loved X, about what you said. Let's grab a coffee and talk more about that. And continue that conversation." And you're so right that people just that they get busy with other things and they lose that connection, and then you have to struggle to make it again. So once you've made it, hold on to it. And I know you do that all the time.
I try my best, David. So thanks for the kind words. You're the same way. Like, you're reminding me about this event, for example, right? We get a calendar invite, we get a reminder. So, we're all professionals here, and we all have a lot on our plate. And I find those that have a lot on their plate are able to accomplish a lot of things. I'm task oriented, so that's what I enjoy doing. I'm old school on some things in life, and I've got so much technology at my fingertips and an amazing expert staff, of course. But here I am, pen and pad for my task list. I wrote down one of the things that Chris said, right? That my brain is wired to my pen and pad, right? That's how I went through all those years of school before technology, right?
I'm the same way. I do both. I have my computer and my phone, but I definitely have my little pad and pencil, and I don't know. There's just something about writing something down that makes it real for me.
Me too. I'm the same.
Absolutely.
I would love to challenge the audience. When we're talking about following up, maybe share some things that you do that work for you to follow up. I would love you to email me, and maybe what the challenges are while you're not following up. I've gone to events where someone doesn't have their business cards. I try to get their name, and I mentioned I give them my card, and I ask, connect with me, send me a message, let's follow up. Most of them don't, and I'm just trying to figure out why. Why aren't they? They're good people. They have good intentions. We have great conversation. But what's this challenge on following up? So is there an awkwardness? Is there a bashfulness? Is there, I don't feel like it's important to me to bother Chris or David because you guys are, big, busy people and doing all kinds of great things. So what are we finding that the challenges are? Let's work them through together.
So Frank is starting the follow-up challenge. There you go.
Follow-up challenge. Now we're going to throw a challenge to you, Frank. We're going to switch to our next segment here. We're going to go really, truly rapid fire. Going to throw a number of questions at you. All right. And you give us those answers as quick as you possibly can. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
David, are you ready?
I am set.
All right. Question number 1. How would you describe your leadership style in one word?
Aggressive.
What's the most impactful book that every business owner should read?
Seth Godin, All Marketers Are Liars / Tell Stories.
What's the best social media platform from a networking perspective?
LinkedIn.
Okay, interesting. I thought maybe you might have gone Facebook group or something there, but LinkedIn. What is the most rewarding part of networking for you?
Connecting people together.
What's one piece of advice you would love to give your younger self if you had that DeLorean, that time machine to go back in time? What kind of advice would you want to give your younger self?
With Marty and Doc, that would be awesome. It would be awesome. Hey, guys, let me get back on track here. I would give myself advice. Don't be afraid. Just do it if you feel it.
Love that. How do you handle stress and uncertainty when it comes to, running a business?
I close my eyes and I breathe deeply and count to 10. I usually get to 3 or 4 and then I'm okay.
I thought you were going to go somewhere else there. As soon as you said, I closed my eyes. I'm like, where are you going with this one here? What's a common misconception that people have about starting a business?
Lack of confidence in themselves to be successful. The other one I would say is I didn't know this when we were starting our business, but a misconception is no one's going to help me. And I will let you know there's a lot of people in beautiful organizations that really will help.
Love that.
That's a big misconception I hear when I'm mentoring some entrepreneurs.
Yeah, there's a ton out there.
How much do you think that networking has contributed to your overall success?
You want a percent?
Sure. Yeah.
I would say 90%. It has been networking.
And can you elaborate on that by what you mean by that 90%? How do you get to that?
So I would say networking for me is all marketing avenues that we've used, whether it's myself, the company, my digital marketing team. Word of mouth is paramount. There are two factors that I measure in terms of growth, success, and where we need to be, and if we're fine tuning or not, of what we need to fine tune. Sorry. So number one is repeat. If clientels keep coming back on a regular basis, and referrals. It's the R&R, repeat and referrals. So for me, that was all built on networking, marketing, and there's been a lot of great people in this community, a lot of the media, some of the accolades, some of the awards. It's been a lot of it I can relate to as word of mouth, for lack of better terminology, but that has made a huge impact on building the business.
Yeah, that is so critical, what you're talking about there as well with that. How do you balance multiple ventures at the same time and not get overwhelmed?
Prioritize, task list, and scratch it off, move on to the next.
Yeah.
Actually, Chris, if I may, and I know it's not rapid, but I've got the 4 Ds, right? Do, delete, delegate, or defer.
Yeah.
Defer means put a deadline.
I love that one.
Yeah, the 4 Ds.
Yep. What's one kind of new technology that you're really excited about right now?
Well, there's always a new buzzword, right? So
Right.
AI is the hot. It's been around a long time, but it's super hot the way it's evolved right now. So we'll see what happens there. And there's a lot of career opportunity in AI. So that's an exciting for our field.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on people who are scared of AI and don't want to kind of embrace it right now?
Well, you can watch the ships go by, or you can hop on it and lead a ship. So you got to decide what you want to do. We faced that when the cloud hit. We faced that with Y2K. We faced that with the recession. We faced so many of the similar concepts, right? So either we had to adapt and embrace the cloud, or I don't know where the company would have gone had we said, no, we're not doing this. We're not going to embrace it. Again, let's go back to the earlier conversation. Our industry changes hourly. You need to adapt. You need to change. It's dynamic.
100%. Think of a business leader or an entrepreneur, past, present, fictional, or dead. Who would you want to meet? Who would you want to have dinner with?
Who I want to have dinner with?
Yeah.
Well, I would love to have dinner with Elon Musk. I want to figure that guy out.
I've said the same thing.
I don't know why. When I saw him host Saturday Night Live, I thought, wow, I really got to meet this guy now. One sentence, he can change the whole world on Monday morning when we come in, right? I mean, that's power.
What drives you? Like, what motivates you every day to continue to push it? And you've been in this business for a long time. Like, what's that motivating factor?
The guy in the mirror.
Ooh,
I like
that's
that.
deep.
I like
I
that.
love that. That's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
When you have a really busy week, how do you rejuvenate? How do you recover from that?
Family time, and just turn it all off when I can. So the busy weeks are everyone's lives are busy, right? So there's the business hours. We're 24/7, so we don't really have business hours per se, but there's that family time that's important to rejuvenate.
Do you like to travel?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I've traveled more this year than I have in most years. So I enjoy traveling. It's something fairly new to travel a little more. So I'm excited about making
What's your
more time.
favorite place to go and see?
I would say so far, I would say Pompeii, Italy was an eye opener for me. I didn't think I would love it, and I was surprised with myself how much I loved Pompeii. I've been to the Vatican before, into the Colosseum, and France was beautiful. Spain, I mean, Europe all around is just beautiful. So we're hitting Portugal next month, so I've never been there.
Nice.
And then I can tell you about Portugal, and then Greece is on the list, so they're all beautiful. And
Frank, the world traveler, I love it.
I'm haven't been anywhere before, so we're starting to get out a little bit.
Start doing it now, right?
Doing it now.
What's one trend you think that's going to change entrepreneurship in general for people?
One trend?
One trend. What's gonna flip the switch here for entrepreneurs?
You might have stumped me on this one. Ooh, hang on. 35 years, been stumped once. What's the one thing's going to change? I'm going to go to the AI and autopilot. We need to go with a hybrid model. We need to look at AI, automation, and the human touch to be successful as an entrepreneur.
Yeah, it can't be all just one, right? It's got to be a combo of both. Neither
one's going to work. So if I go back to what I did 25 years ago, or if I go strictly to AI, I don't think either model is going to work. So I think that's the danger zone that I'm seeing right now. Let's come up with a hybrid on some of the old proven methods, some of the new methods. Let's blend them and come up with your unique strategy.
So throughout your career, what's the biggest lesson that you've probably learned that you think other people should know and listen to?
Use your voice. Speak up when things compromise your core values. Make sure that you voice it.
Look at that. You just powered through 20 questions really quickly, and I stumped you on one. So I feel really good about having one that stumped you, but you nailed it.
The guy in the mirror said I failed.
Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him.
Well, thank you for being in the hot seat there.
All right. Thank you.
Now, real quick questions, Frank, and these are just questions. But where do you see AlphaKor going in the future? What's the new direction that you want to take? Do you guys have any new programs or projects, or both for the company itself and for community projects that you may have interest in?
So the corporation's always going to continue to have growth. We've had major rapid growth, many milestones, I can tell you. 99, 2011, 2008, we went against the grain. We were very blessed against the recession. COVID, from a black and white business transaction point of view, and I hope no one takes us the wrong way, COVID was an amazing time for AlphaKor in terms of how our team was there to really help people make a difference. And a lot of people had to rely on us, and it was a tough time for a lot of people. And my phone was lit all the time. I get emotional because I care a lot, as you know. I have a lot of passion, but
absolutely,
I did interactive webinars with me once a week, then twice a week. I did virtual staff meetings with the team. Don't Laugh Fridays at 4:30 to give the whole team that virtual hug that was working home alone, isolated. Everyone was scared. We didn't know what's going to happen. Are we going to have a business in the morning? Is the industry going to be around? Like, nobody really knew. So it was a huge emotional time, and I spent a lot of time at the office during the day, and I got to spend time with the family. So for me, a lot of things that happened just before COVID. So it really affected us a lot. But the company itself, we've taken that and continue to build the foundation. To answer your question, our footprint has really grown. We're doing a lot outside of this region, and we're working with some large enterprise accounts that are global, which is very exciting for AlphaKor. And we're helping small local businesses, small businesses abroad. And we're going to continue to lead in the managed service space. That's an exciting space for us. And some of the software tools that we wrote are online, and we're going to continue to market those in a bigger way. And so I'm really excited about the future of the company. I get asked a lot of times why we're in Windsor, and my answer is always to a question is a question. So my answer is, why not Windsor? And I've challenged anyone on that. I think we've run a pretty cool, fun organization that's grown 28 solid years in a row. So I'm excited about that. Maybe there's a future location, maybe there's not. Today in the virtual world, doesn't matter where you're located. We can help
Right.
anywhere.
Right. Now, do you have any community projects coming up? Anything that any of our local viewers can get, excited about, or?
Well, I'm always excited about local stuff. As a AlphaKor, as a founding member of WeTech for over a dozen years now, I think it's 14 years. There's always exciting things going on. Just so you know, that was our first organization for the IT community locally. We really didn't have anything prior to it. I'm currently the past chair of Build a Dream. To me, I'm very, very excited. We've hired another female technician on our team. I've got another female starting next week. We're not quite 50%, but we were 10%, and we were 20, and then we were almost a third, and we're exceeding there on in terms of gender equality and diversity. So we represent 18 countries. I'm really excited about that. So these are things that really move me. So being part of Build a Dream that caters to young females looking at traditionally male-dominated careers has been an exciting organization to watch how that organization has expanded. I'm going to be
Absolutely.
I'm going to be on a panel. Noor had invited me to be on a panel for Dreamer Day in October in Toronto. So I'm excited about that. AlphaKor moving into the EV space is exciting. Back in May, a group of us from Windsor were in the EV show in Toronto and met a lot of the different players in the industry. That was during that that strike that we're not talking about, and so it was an exciting time to see those things move and the players there, and to be an expert on cybersecurity for that industry is really exciting for AlphaKor.
Oh, wow. I mean, you guys are into a lot of things, and that's fantastic. I mean, and I know you guys are always, coming up with something new and getting involved. Chris,
Incredible, I think, what your organization is doing. Like, and we want to make sure we respect your time here as well. But like, what kind of final thoughts would you want to share with audience members? What's the big takeaway that you want to make sure that everyone kind of knows following this?
So for everyone out there is, I don't know how this sounds, but I really want people to be more open-minded and caring about each other. I find that running the business, being on the sales side of it, we really have to genuinely care. When I joined AlphaKor and I was knocking on those doors and running into people that I knew and didn't know, I kept hearing two recurring themes. One was that I brought something refreshing that was genuine and caring. And the other part goes back to the follow-up, is that I was persistent and consistent. So somewhere I was fortunate, with the resources I had at AlphaKor. Like, I have at the time 3 phenomenal partners that are very technical, so I got to do whatever I wanted to do in the sales marketing side of it. That was the beauty and the fun part, right? Whatever damage I did, they were out there to make it work, and they did the magic wand, and I looked like a hero, right? So it was a lot of fun to do that. But that was the thing, is really caring about people. A lot of people I've shouldered with and gone out on appointments with don't like my style because I ask a lot of questions. I cannot help you unless I know a lot about you and your business. So
Totally agree.
The more info you have, the better you can do, for sure. Absolutely.
So the danger part of awareness, of awards, of marketing, of referrals, is many times we get, hey, I hear you guys are the best. Come on in and save the day. And the problem with that is you have to have your guard up a little bit and say, hey, let's stop and slow down. Let's go through the process. So that's another thing I would recommend is if you have a process that's successful, follow the process. So sometimes we need to slow down and follow the process, because when we cut the corners or we, I guess, make some assumptions, sometimes we get into trouble. So maybe another lesson learned over time, where let's follow the process that we know that works. We can adjust it for you, but let's follow the process. So that would be some advice that I would hammer home.
Absolutely incredible. I hope everyone who's either listening to this or seeing this is taking notes, because there was so much incredible value that you delivered here today, Frank. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks,
Thank you
Chris.
for sharing.
Yeah, really appreciate
this community as well. It's incredible.
Thanks, guys. You made this a lot of fun, and I'm honored to be your first guest.
We're very excited about it. So yeah, Frank, you and I are going to see each other, and I'm sure Chris will too, at some of the upcoming events. So we can chat some more about what we talked about today. But yeah, this has been great. And Chris, if you want to sign us off.
Absolutely. So again, this has been Rapid Fire Insights. I'm Chris Hanna, my co-host David McCall. We had Frank here, and Frank just delivered so much value, and especially at the end where we're talking about the importance of caring and following the process. Be sure to follow Frank and leave any sort of comments or notes you have on any of these episodes, and a review would help us out as well. We look forward to the next episode of Rapid Fire Insights.